Try again, try again. Yay! I can't hear myself. Try again, try again. Yay! I can't hear myself. All right, now we're gonna turn that off because I can hear myself. The other issue is I can't hear the desktop audio is muted, but that's fine. I'm not worried about it. That's fine. Let's go to fucking Tumblr. Hoo-hoo, hee-hoo, ha, hoo-hoo. Okay. I'm gonna put on a CJDX video and chill and vibe. I'm gonna sip some water. Sippy, sippy. Oh, good lord. I better not do that the rest of the stream. Oh, and it's gonna storm the night. Okay. Welcome back to hell.
Of an ethic cleansing, if you will. Certainly, most aesthetic and ethical philosophers alike will agree with you. These are areas of study that thrive off of differentiating their core concept from other concepts to prove the existence of something like an aesthetic or ethical act in the first place. When you rearrange flowers in your home decoratively, that's not a moral act, it's an aesthetic act. And when you donate $5 to charity, it's not an aesthetic act, it's a moral act that you were coerced into by the cashier at the liquor store. And that's fair. I do understand making distinctions and exclusionary specifications for categories like the aesthetic or the ethical in order to look at them more closely and understand what makes them unique. But I do fundamentally disagree. Value or beauty does not naturally divide itself into clean little categories like aesthetic or ethical. Those aren't provably existing scientific properties that we discovered.
I forgot
Those
how
are
to
categories that we made up. Experience just comes in a big amorphous blob, and then we come up with words to point at specific elements of it that are all intertwined with each other. If you embark upon the intellectual exercise of temporarily abandoning these two categories and leaving value undivided, sometimes you get a cleaner picture of reality. For example, if I'm looking at that German fashion I was referring to earlier, sure, maybe I think it looks sharp, but I have other feelings that complicate my appreciation. When you have an experience that has aesthetic value but is ethically dubious, you're like, I like this, but I wish I didn't. And when you have an experience that has ethical value but is aesthetically ugly, you're like, I want to like this, but I don't. Like that Kesha song. I'm proud of who I am. I'm sorry. This to me is an easy demonstration of how ethical value and aesthetic value are more interrelated than people act like they are. The separation of the realm of the aesthetic from the realm of practicality and morality is a corrosive fetishistic mass psychological repression wrought by the Industrial Revolution, actually. Oh, Industrial Revolution, you fickle bitch. You gave us toaster ovens but took our souls. Galaxy brain take, when people do the right thing, it's beautiful. When people make beautiful art, I think it is right. Carry this logic from morality all the way to art. Flip it negative, now you have art sins. You can do the wrong thing. Some people think in aesthetics, there is no right or wrong. Only opinion, and my opinion is those people are wrong. My opinion is some art crimes send you right to art hell. Shit is real out here. Shit is real. But in order to understand how these art sins manifest, we need to make a distinctive presupposition. Art is not a static object, it is a dynamic experience. The object itself, be it song, image, book, poem, live performance, or otherwise, is only the conductor for art experiences, as it is not the art itself. The art itself is a larger sphere that encompasses the art object, the performer, the audience, the context, all in one experience. So I'm not saying if you make bad enough art objects, you'll be sent to prison. Yet bad art sins, are much deeper and more cosmic. Remember, they're not limited to the realms of the aesthetic or the ethical. They transcend both. These sins generally skew to the performer perspective, but plenty also apply to the audience experience, and most living creatures will probably be able to apply them if they value beauty and truth more than garbage and genocide. Number one, sloth, depriving the universe of its you. Look at it without its you. It looks ridiculous. Give it its you back. It just says universe now. That's silly. Or is it me-verse? Like me's from the we, the only metaverse I respect? Or knee like the body part? Spit in a verse?
Hey yo, it's CJ's me, spitting the 16. I rap and stack green, but wrapped in gap jeans. But I don't bust caps, I keep the cap clean. Strapped like Captain Falcon, you know what that means.
What? So you think about making art, but you don't do it. You like the idea of being an artist, but that's just not in the cards for you. You want to try, but you won't. I'll kill you. This is me beating the shit out of you until you manifest that idea you had in the shower. I understand I probably take this too far. Not everyone is an artist. You don't have to be an artist. It's your free time. It's your life. Your prerogative, except it isn't, and you're going to jail. You are a non-fungible individual. We are the original bored apes. The boredom is the pain of existence. The club is the collective unconscious, and the yacht is NFTs. Your specific perception of the universe and the potentialities that lie under your skin, your little imagination lightning rod that detects like the ghosts of hitherto unrealized dreams, it is not replaceable. There's not going to be another one of you. So if you're not going to put in the work to make that idle fantasy that could have been real, it will not exist. Won't exist. You're depriving art of something that it literally cannot have without you. To be clear, it's not like if you don't have any artistic ideas, you have to figure something out and make them happen or else you're evil. It's that a lot of people do harbor creative passions and have genuine inspiration and real dreams, and instead of watering them, they let them die. And I think that's wrong. I think that's as wrong as some people think abortion is, except they're exaggerating and I'm not. That wistful sense of excitement and urgency within your breast is the meaning of life, and once they get out, the beauty is within you. Let her out. Let her out. Like Kesha. The art objects are how you transmit the transcendence. Conceptual performance art counts as an object. If you need me to explain, just get out of here. Don't just fantasize about how cool it would be if you did make the art. Just do it. It's so much better. Relinquishing your control of your art object and subjecting yourself to the horrifying ordeal of being known is the only way to give her that you back. Number two, greed, perfectionism, and preciousness. You will find this sin closely interrelated with sloth, but there's a fundamental difference of outcome. The sloth never starts. The greedy never finish. What are you gonna do? Keep the art all to yourself? You greedy little stop snogging it. Share it with the boys. Distribute the bounty amongst the proletariat. Don't open a Skittles packet in class unless you have enough for everybody. Perfectionism as a sloth sin paralyzes you and prevents you from even beginning your projects based on a comparison to a standard that you completely made up for yourself. And if you don't reach that, then it's not even worth it because you're not going to be cool and a genius and people won't understand your truth. The flip side is you overcome your sloth, you get a first draft down, and then you start tinkering and tweaking and thinking, and then you never actually get around to release it. Yet managing to maintain the fantasy that if you ever did release it, if you ever did actually get around to finishing it, then yeah, you'd be famous and rich immediately. When you hoard your projects in a perpetual purgatory of perfectionist process, you're just convincing yourself that it's a labor of love and you're doing it because you care so much. And you know what, trust me, I do understand obsessing over details and caring a lot about the quality of something, playing things close to the chest until they're ready to release. This is good things. The perfectionism is not like an inherently bad impulse, but you have to earn that. You don't get to be a perfectionist if it is unproven up to this point if you can even make a thing. First, you have to prove you can just start, develop, complete, and release anything. To complete and release or perform a piece is an essential part of the creative process, and if you're not doing it, you have not experienced the full cycle. You have not done the artist thing yet. You're not perfecting your craft. You're shielding yourself from vulnerability. There are three prime functions of the complete piece and release feat. A, working on one project ad nauseum is not how you you gain experience and skill. You gain experience by completing many projects. If you have only played one video game for 6 million hours, I don't consider you an experienced gamer. Looking at you, Stardew fans. No, I'm joking. That's like sexist, I feel like. B. Uncompleted passion projects function like blockage in your creative system. While you're still enamored and honeymooning with this big special idea that's so important to you and you're always talking about but you never got around to finishing, you've cut off the pathway for new ideas to form within you. Until you release that blockage, you're not going to have as many new ideas. And C. Releasing builds confidence while not releasing forces you to linger in fear. Oh my. Releasing art is a radical, defiant act of self-love and bravery. And not like delusional, flimsy bravery in the face of hopelessness. It's a process that actively, literally teaches you your value and competence by proving that it's true. Here's a maxim. Stop saving your best ideas for later. The time is now. Put the best thing you've got on wax right now, drop it and abandon it. Because the universe deserves your best. It deserves your best right now. And while you're being precious about what you think is your best you're ever going to come up with, you are actively performing a lack of confidence in your own ability. You're operating on a mindset of artistic scarcity, like you've got a limited amount of brilliance in your lifetime, and this brilliant idea that you're holding on to is one of 10 brilliant ideas you're ever going to have in your life, and if you let go of this one now at the inopportune time, you're only going to have 9. But that's not true. That's not a shard of brilliance that you're losing forever from your dwindling reservoir. The great idea is proof that you are capable of generating great ideas infinitely. If you pulled it off once, it's proof you could pull it off again, and if you keep at it, it's inevitable that not only you're going to reach that level, you're going to exceed it. If you never clear out that blockage, if you don't teach yourself to complete and relinquish control over your art objects, then you stay afraid of that process, and you're just cluttered in there with all your dusty old ideas, not allowing room for new genius to germinate. Here's a test for you. Make something beautiful and delete it. Just get the fuck rid of it. Can you do that? I do that for fun sometimes. Bitch. Number 3, pride. Using the word pretentious in vain. When I am working with artists, cultivating a creative, collaborative community, one of my first steps every time is to blanket ban the word pretentious. I'm not exaggerating. I've specifically sternly done this on multiple occasions. You see, our culture suffers from terminal brain worms when it comes to artistic expression. We are under the impression that art is something special people do, and to do it well makes you a genius, and to do it poorly is embarrassing. This sectioning off of the art world for artists from regular life and regular people is completely artificial, and it is bad for the soul of your society. You see, for most of history and in current cultures that do not have this psychological disorder, you don't sing because you're a singer. You sing because you're a person. It's fucking singing. Religious institutions are one of the last places that we still understand that singing is an innately human participatory social act, not the exclusive domain of fucking Ariana Grande. The result of removing the stigma and arbitrary qualification required to do something as simple as draw or dance isn't just less self-hatred, less insecurity, less anxiety, better community, better connection to your body, more holistic communion with others in the world around you, and simple indulgence in your fundamental humanity. It also results in categorically better artists. And arbitrary qualification required to do something as simple as draw or dance. Since you're not terrified to less insecure.
Okay. Let's check on OBS.
Try to express.
I see the problem. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Did that work? I can't tell if it worked or not. Okay. We're having. All right.
More people do it more often, and better tasted techniques develops throughout the herd. Literally everyone becomes better performers, and as appreciators, you become more equipped to to engage with the nuances of the craft. Everyone knows how to actually learn a language, right? It's not Duolingo. You just move to the country and try not to die. When we stop fetishizing art, every facet of experience in that art language is heightened. So the reason I banned the word pretentious in my creative communities is because that accusation of being pretentious haunts our psyches like a branding iron always inches away from our neck. You may want to write a poem or dance or learn your favorite song on any instrument, but this suffocating fear of being mocked or being understood as trying too hard smothers your heart. Your heart. The word pretentious encapsulates so much of this double-edged fetishization of art. It's self-conscious summarized, fear and pride on a razor's edge. I've gotten ample pushback for my absolutist stance on this. Plenty of people are like, well, some
Arcane
people
looks
are
real bad
pretentious,
in
and
this.
the particular meaning of that word. Pretentiousness
I'm not gonna
really
lie,
means
I was
an attempt
focused
to
on
seem
Pommy.
more sophisticated and prestigious than you are. It's a critique of artifice, of pompousness, of a lack of sincerity, those more concerned with their ego and status than their art. And okay, fair. That's real. We see that. But who decides who is authentic and who is not? All art is a manner of artifice. All communication is manipulation. I formulate my words and I adjust my art object as to better direct your thought and attention towards the place I desire it to be. Authenticity is not just pure intention that if you have it, then you have it, and the products that you produce are going to be authentic because you did it authentically. It's more accurately a process where your and my consciousness and thoughts are guided to a place of mutual integrity via well-placed words and actions. Shit is authentic when you manage to get in the other person's head the way that you are in your head. Authenticity is often not a default state of being that you have to alter with deception. It's like a destination you must arrive at with effort and technology and language. That's another fucking sin as artists, that they don't even practice their craft because there's like, I want to make it raw. I want to keep it raw and real. You're not keeping it real. You're keeping it shit. Dog, if practice damages your artistry, having a better grasp of language should not make you speak worse. Authenticity is not always just vomiting out whatever's on your mind without thinking about it. Sometimes you have to think about it and be careful with your words to be authentic. There's a very thin line between the stuff that you call inauthentic and pretentious because it tries too hard but the wrong way, and the art that you adore because someone tried really hard and got their authentic self across to you. The common utility of the word pretentious, it seems to me, not to be to critique this very particular instance of its literal relevance, but to be a way to critique someone for caring too much, for daring to think what they're doing is important. On this basis, I have often been called pretentious myself, and to that critique, I respond with a carefully considered fuck you. Caring too much is not a sin, and it never will be. I contend that every single time that you are tempted to use the word pretentious in critique, without exception, you can always substitute it for a different criticism that is more specific, more actionable, and less likely to suffocate the human spirit. And if you really cannot think of a constructive critique besides the vague, sneering notion of pretentiousness, I do regret to inform you that you're an incompetent authority and may not know enough about what you're talking about to be evaluating quality in the first place. Banish the word from your vocabulary. It has deteriorated into dilapidated disrepair and is ready to be burned away for new brush to bloom. Pretentiousness is out. Passion is in. Ha! Number 4. Wrath. Taking back what is no longer yours. In 1977, Star Wars came out. When adjusted for inflation, it is still the second biggest grossing release of all time in America. Gone with the Wind is number 1 still for some reason, I don't know why. It was such an overwhelming, unambiguous, creative and commercial success, you'd think everyone could kick back and bask in preposterous profit and prestige in perpetuity. But there remained one guy on the entire planet that thought Star Wars was anything less than perfect. And that was the guy who made Star Wars. He claimed in the creation of this classic film he did not have the technology or the time or the budgetless carte blanche totalitarian lack of opposition that he really wanted while making it. And therefore, the film contained compromises. For the 20th anniversary, he announced he was going back to fix these movies, enhancing the cultural classics with the advanced CGI technology of 1997.
I really wanted to fix the film and have it be completed.
Even without the benefit of hindsight, if you just think through it logically, there is a glaring contradiction screaming at us right away. People love this movie. So why would the movie changing be something to celebrate? Sure, it feels intuitive. You love Star Wars by George Lucas? How about even more Star Wars by even more George Lucas? But you have no reason to inherently desire someone's retroactive, revisionary artistic expression just because you love an art object they produced at one time. You do have reason to anticipate their next project. You have reason to care about what they have to say about the art, but the only reason you care about what they might do or might say into the future is because You love the art object that exists in the past. You don't love that because of them. You love this, therefore you love that. If they go to the art object that is the source of your respect for them and fuck with it, that's like a vacuum cleaner sucking its own plug out of the socket. It turns out this auteur is still attached to deleted scenes that added nothing to the narrative. He wants to change character-defining plot points according to his evolving sensibilities as an old, boring man. This motherfucker was out here replacing 90% of the special effects for a movie that won the Oscar for Best Special Effects.
It's actually better than the original release.
Some CGI was just obstructively placed directly on top of previously completed shots. You don't need to see the actors. Big, dumb, gummy digital dinosaur time. And most scandalously to my eyes, despite repeated claims that he was just realizing the original movies the way he always intended them to be, he clearly was using these special edition revisions as technical experimental practice for shit he wanted to do in his new movies. I was fairly confident that we could pull off what I was envisioning in the new films, but I really felt that I needed to do some concrete experimentation and tests to make sure that I could pull off this vision that I had. I wanted to see how much they would cost and what the processes would be, because to do the new films, I had to take those and times them by 100. So yes, the special editions were a means of researching and testing what I was going to try to do. Okay, so that is extremely different from manifesting the film the way you always intended it to be seen. That's specifically not that. It's quite a bit more like animal testing and making pet owners watch. And this would all be fine. It's just a director's cut. You just release the special editions. If you hate them, hate them. But he wasn't just releasing special editions. He is actively weighing his leverage as the creator to permanently replace the originals for everyone forever. The persistent progressive editorialization across multiple re-releases has been accompanied by this insidious resistance to preserving the classic theatrical cut, insisting that no, the new versions are the actual true-to-vision artistic intent, and so those are the only ones that matter. And this problem just gets exacerbated over time. Right now, if you go on Disney Plus to watch Star Wars 1977, you are not going to be watching the thing that was released in cinemas that changed the world. The outdated experimental version is the official, legally available version. There is an illegal copy that gets passed around and referred to as a faithful draft, but even that is a fan-made restoration that a community labored to make out of desperation. This shit is fueled by 80% nostalgia and 20% bloodlust. They want the movie without the computer changes, so they use the computer to uncompute the computer changes. Finally, in 2006, after more than a decade's worth of fan fury, Lucasfilm released a bonus disc of the supposedly original film, but even this copy was ripped off of a laser disc kind of badly, so it had these muted colors and weird motion blurs. At one point in this whole process, the PR team claimed that they permanently damaged the negatives in the restoration of it.
I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not sure.
They just killed the original movie. Through either megalomaniacal stubbornness or inexcusable incompetence, the actual original draft of this thing has been paved over countless times, to the point the primary historical document is smudged and scrambled. So this story is really irritating to listen to, but it's also like an aesthetic philosophy, hypothetical thought experiment in real life. Oh fuck. To whom does the art belong? Artists certainly should not have their work pried away from them, like they don't have any autonomy or agency over their own creativity, but this manipulation of a beloved property is clearly also dishonorable. Star Wars is not an in-process project. It's already been released. It's not about one person's subjective preferences anymore. It's a nexus of intersubjective conglomerated passions of a populace. The Sin of Wrath is a sociopathic, outwardly aggressive sister of greed, like Azula. The Wrathful do release projects, but they refuse to acknowledge the audience's ownership or contribution to what the art is, reserving the right to demand back the present that they gave you if you do not appreciate it the way that they want you to. Because that's what's clearly happening with the Star Wars re-release thing, right? The author is telling you how you should feel about the art. He's taking your love and running away with it as like a superpower he can use to inflict his own will upon your poor little minds. Leonardo da Vinci is quoted as once saying, art is never finished. Only
It's gotta repeat that. Da
The reason I
Vinci?
hate it is because it's doing two things simultaneously that I find to be deleterious to art as a whole. The first one is mystifying art as some separate process from the rest of reality, and the second one is reducing art to being this thing that's all just subjective opinion without any objective reality. Or it's never finished because it's whatever, man. Fuck that. Sometimes that shit is done. Once it's released, it's definitely done. It has to be. However, I can understand this quote as a pragmatic truth statement Its functionality, explicably, is to free your psyche from the shackles of greed and wrath. The artist, if bound up in ego and fear, can hamper the art experience that they are to be stewards of. I'm all for perfection, but perfectionism as a process does not get you closer towards perfection. Tinkering and tweaking is totally part of the prissy little process of genuinely caring for a piece of art and all of its intricacies. But something changes when it releases. The moment the art touches an audience, the ownership shifts in an irreversible way. That audience is not having an art experience with you and your intentions. They're having an art experience with the art object. If you've done your job right, that art object is going to contain plenty of your intention, but the object, independently of your involvement, is going to suck an audience that connects with it into an essence whirlpool that may or may not perfectly align with your intentions and dreams as a creator. Like, authenticity is a destination that you arrive at with various forms of language. Art is a building constructed by an artist but inhabited by an audience. You can't say the vision of the architect is more important than the experience of the residents. It doesn't split up like that. It doesn't divide and prioritize and decide. It being lived in is part of its meaning. It's defined by relationship. You have tremendous authorial leeway all the way up to the wire. You can mix and mash and meddle as much as you want, right up to that vertical pinprick in time when it touches an audience and the experience happens, and then it is no longer exclusively yours. I mean, it wasn't even yours when you were making it with an entire team. It was this collaborative effort. So now that you're weighing your position as the star to overwrite over top of the efforts of other people that worked on the thing, I mean, you're erasing their art. It's dark. Yes, I know there is plenty of art that is essentially aleatoric or impermanent in some capacity, but you know the difference between those things and a fucking like poem or a movie or whatever. Although I can appreciate the life of Pablo as this conceptual shifting piece of art that the artist can alter after the fact, you know that wasn't the point, right? Like, he's never said anything about that. The motherfucker just didn't finish the bitch before releasing it. And we can intellectualize and theorize and appreciate life in all its chaotic dynamicism as much as we want, but at its core, this is sinful. Finish the thing before you release it. Once you release it, you cannot take it back like that. If you want to add extraneous updates or disclaimers to your art post-release, I think that's within your rights. But once the art has found an audience, I think it is morally wrong to take the object that they have a relationship with and make it completely inaccessible. It has to be accessible somewhere, even if you prioritize another version over it. You can't just burn your past, and it's not even your past to burn anymore. It's other people's history as well. Whether or not you like it, the art that you made is already bonded to somebody's soul, and if you whip the art away, you're ripping a bit of the soul that has adhesive contact with it. Number 5, lust. Glory without meaning. Some people say they care about art when they really care about what art gets them. Something in me is telling me to be gentle in this section, but the problem is, I feel hard about this. So I'm not going to be dishonest and not behave as though I feel hard about this. I have a friend that's signed to a record label and is making waves in the music industry right now. And her label persistently pitches that they get on TikTok so that they can promote their music more effectively. You know, horrible shit like this. So, no shade on the individuals here or anybody that has participated in something like this. I have empathy for the internet-induced anxiety about being invisible, the pain of being an artist in an ocean of content, having to somehow differentiate yourself from just the non-stop sludge of just shit going out everywhere, and the very practical reality of wanting to earn money, of course, and also just the crippling insecurity and fear of irrelevance. Look, I get all of those things, and you're heckin' valid, every single one of you. B-U-T, this ain't it, Chief. The way you market your music changes how people perceive your music. It alters the art moment, and this, whatever this is, kills 100% of the mystique. How do you expect to enchant an audience when you are behaving as though you're a member of your own audience? Where the fuck is the magic? Marketing is not just about brute force inflicting awareness of your existence and ambition upon an unsuspecting mass. It's about trying to find the people that genuinely connect with what you're doing. It's about you make something that you think is valuable, and then you're trying to find the people for whom it is valuable. When wielding brand as an art medium, success looks like an excited audience singing your signal words. Imparting that feeling of excitement to an audience is not only instrumental so that you can earn money or get your numbers up. That feeling of excitement is normative value itself. Normative value is a concept in philosophy where you illustrate the value of something by the actions that that value might cause you to take. It's a dialogue riddled with oughts and shoulds and musts. The fact that if this is true, you should do this, proves that this is a value, because if this wasn't valuable, then you wouldn't do the thing in response to it. It wouldn't compel you to action. For example, the fact that The Weeknd is a good singer and you like his songs is a normative value in that if he is performing live near you and you have the opportunity to see him, you should go. And this doesn't have to be strictly financial, like buying a ticket to a live concert at all. For example, if you're watching a YouTube video is free, but if the YouTube video is valuable and you value something about the YouTube video, then it makes sense that you should want to donate your time and energy to sitting and watching it instead of doing something else. With this lens on of normative value and brand's relationship to it, you start to see how brand and story comprise the overwhelming majority of reasons to do anything at all. It's why you vote for someone. It's how you've cast a judgment. It's how you decide where to put your life energy. As an artist or a leader or a person of influence of any kind at all, brand is your tool to stir passion in the hearts of those that you want to act differently. Or even just to change the state
I did not
of
think
people that
before
you
I
want to
started
add
this.
to the hearts and minds of. But before you even get to the normative part, that
Which is
feeling
usually
of
how the best
excitement
things
is
start.
inherently valuable. That's just
But
transcendent experience. That's the meaning of life. That's the kind of shit that people live and die for. I don't know about you idiots, but when I'm making art, I am seeking to induce transcendent experience. But if that's not important to you, and that's not what you're going for, I guess you can also just beg and plead for Senpai algorithm to notice you. Because that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking at this right now. You are just dashing the possibility of authentic, exciting, transcendent experience as a relationship between the performer and audience. And instead,
baby, you were already
might get, like,
outside.
6 more clicks. Think
You
of the
went potty just
ramifications of
before
how
we
you are presenting
started.
yourself. Think about how you are priming people to experience your art. Do you want people going into their art experience with your art object, knowing that you're crossing your fingers, hoping that you get a high enough number to make yourself feel better about yourself? Or do you want them to be going into your art object and art experience because they want to, and because they feel like you're confident in what you've done? That's the real dream, right? To have an excited, authentically engaged audience, independent of their interest in your personal well-being. You don't want to invent the TikTok dance to your own song. You want people to love the song and to make the TikTok dance of their own accord. Keep your horse cart orientation in check. You don't want a million views. You want to make something excellent, and excellent things sometimes get a million views. There is a morally superior temporal orientation and value hierarchy here. First, good art, then material gain, whatever the fuck might follow, and it might not follow. Supreme is good art. If you find yourself in a position where you're just trying to chase the signifiers of good art, views and accolades, whatever the hell you're looking for, you're lost in the sauce. You're lost in the sauce. You're lost in the sauce.
You don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you also get lost in the sauce.
Sin is not just something bad that you do for which you should be punished. It's also bad for the person doing it. It takes you farther away from your desires. It's like drinking seawater.
At least you're gonna get lost in the sauce, man.
By focusing on squeezing views and accolades and money out of the internet, you are declaring your priorities. You care less about the art than you care about the rewards that you think the art will give you. So, okay, don't chase symbols of value at the expense of the actual value that you are creating. Fine. But then, how is one to market their art? I don't think that branding is evil. I don't think marketing is evil. So I should offer an actual thing to replace the thing that I'm criticizing, of course. I think the answer lies within Seth Godin's distinction between direct marketing and brand marketing. The defining difference between these two things is that direct marketing is measurable. You put tactic coins into the machine and hope that it spits out results. When an artist promotes themselves on TikTok, how many more streams do they get on Spotify? When I put a red arrow in a thumbnail, how many more click-through impressions does the... I don't know what click-through impressions means because I don't look at analytics because I don't respect them for all the reasons I'm enumerating right now. But something like that. Direct marketing is a competitive business tactic that has nothing necessarily to do with artistic intent or artistic integrity or artistic excellence. It's literally just make number go big. But on the other hand, as an alternative to direct marketing, there's brand marketing, which is not measurable. It's not insert tactic and measure outcome. It's cultural, and culture cannot be measured like that. Brand marketing is when you tell a consistent, principled story about what you are offering regardless of immediate outcome, without constantly course-correcting in response to data gathered day by day. And brand marketing is how you make the best art and how you get the best audience.
If you're an individual, you're counting your Facebook likes, or your YouTube views, you're making a big mistake. You're measuring the wrong thing. And that's going to undermine your brand, because we all know that the best way to get a lot of clicks is to act like a porn site. And left to its own devices, if it does nothing but optimize, sooner or later direct marketing on the internet races to the bottom. Because you're just trying to get a few clicks from a few people dumb enough to pay you something.
If you're an artist with any amount of integrity, you do not want big number. You want what big number represents. You really want the precondition of big number, which is expressing yourself authentically and having it authentically connect with the audience that it's intended for. When you start to confuse the reality and the representation, and you're busy chasing the representation, you twist yourself into a goddamn pretzel, trying to be something that you don't want to be until your vision and convictions are unrecognizable and you're just pleasing an audience that you fucking hate. If you want to make work that you love for people who love your work, the only way to do that is to make work you love and just see if other people like it or not. And they might not. But they might, and you're never going to know unless you do what you are convicted is excellent.
If you keep looking for me while I keep looking for you, we can theoretically never find each other. Always follow your bliss. Find your voice, shout it from the rooftops, and keep doing it until the people that are looking for you find you. Stay put. The internet gives you more power to do that than ever before, but it also gives you more temptation to not do that.
Generate and offer your art sincerely and without material expectation of reward. And if it falls flat, at least you meant it. But if it doesn't fall flat, then you haven't contorted your self-expression to try to capture the signs of success. You found the audience of the real people you want to serve. Also, once you've experienced the process of releasing and performing a few times, you're actually going to get like a better mutual sense of what people want versus what you want and how to find mutual ground. You ever see an opening act at a concert that the crowd isn't really into, but when they go, hey, y'all excited for headliner? They all go like, oh! Are those the cheers you want? Status without substance? Are you okay with that? Do you want to get a million hits on your content because you connived your way into it? Or because people loved it so much they wanted to experience it a million times? Does it matter to you where your glory comes from? Because it should. Because it does. Number 6, envy, suffocating the suffrage. If your figure skater instructor shattered his ankle and then the next day he came into training and was like, I cut all of the leaps and spins and twirls out of your program, just stay on the ground, you would rightfully be suspicious of his new creative direction. Close your eyes and imagine an elementary school band teacher opening up his first class of the year going, okay, got the drum kit in the corner, got the xylophone in the other back corner, we got the strings on this row, one of you poor bastards is gonna have to play the trumpet, but don't worry, I've cut as much of that out of our arrangements as possible to make room for the resplendent didgeridoo. As fictional mentors, these figures are defining art through the limiting perspective of their own bitterness. These people have clearly been hurt at some point in their creative journey, and they're allowing that pain to seep through and malform their instruction. To commit the art sin of envy is to pass a judgment, limiting the possibilities of art and smothering the places where it might grow. The sins of sloth and greed impede the artistic process of the individual, but pride and envy impede the process of others. This is Fruitopian vodka. 9 times out of 10. The prideful are also envious. Real pride comes after real accomplishment. It's self-sustaining. It's between you and God. But the sin of pride is born out of frailty and insecurity. You indulge in pride as a salve instead of experiencing it as this emergent factor of your integrity and harmony with the world around you. That's not real pride. That's copium pride. It cracks under the slightest brush, revealing envy underneath. I call this envy because the truly satisfied and confident do not feel threatened by new perspectives. Much like the prideful who liberally throw around words like pretentious. Those who use their mentorial positions to incuriously insert their prejudices into inquiring innocent minds are bitches. You are a steward of a sacred tradition, not a fucking Redditor. I'd like to draw your attention to this Tumblr post. Lots of nuance to a Ritz cracker if you really pay attention. This is the attitude that educators should have. This is what I expect. Having excellent discriminating taste should not cut you off from others. It should deepen your engagement with the mundane. Sure, as you advance in your field, you might desire to work on a high level with other high-level practitioners, but if in doing so you lose sight of the fundamentals, then I am suspect of your entire process. As a culinary expert, you are the person that should be most qualified to analyze the intricacies of the Ritz cracker texture. If you claim to be a lover of a medium, but when it comes to the context wherein you're supposed to be inducting people into it, you can't appreciate the beauty and simplicity of a beginner in your field? Like, what are you even doing? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're claiming to be a steward and servant of your medium while actively suppressing its value and potential. I honestly think it's the exact same thing when instead of gatekeeping, a mentor goes the opposite direction and tries to make their art form cool and relevant by disrespecting the canon and history? Like, art is like whatever, man. Just like whatever, just do whatever, man. Who cares what these guys thought? There is a genuine way to synthesize and transcend the dialectic between pure chaotic subjectivity and pure oppressive objectivity. You honor the legacy of the art form, you give certain and firm instruction, impart your wisdom confidently.
I really
but
need to get a grip
keep
for
your
my pencil because
subjectivity,
it's
sensitivity open. Keep the context of your offerings obvious. If you are able to transcend all of these rules and regulations and make something amazing, congratulations. That is how everybody has innovated and pushed the art form forth from the beginning of time. The only real rule in art is to make beautiful things. The laws we derive after the fact are techniques to arrive there reliably, but they are derived after the fact. First, it's intuitive motion towards quality. That's always first. Language, science, philosophy, all afterthoughts. No one is immune to their perspective. You should speak your truth and genuinely give to the people around you the wisdom that you feel you've accrued, and speak your mind and speak your truth as to what is beautiful and how to arrive at that which is beautiful. But as a leader in your artistic communities, your job is to engender excellence, and not just your standard of excellence, but excellence with that hole in it that can be filled by someone else's idea of excellence if it proves to be excellent. You're a priest interpreting God for a congregation. You are not God. When you start acting blasphemously as though you're the sole arbiter of what art is instead of a steward held in a position of honor temporarily, like that grape-eating bitch from Gondor, you're throwing your aesthetic soul into hell, you envious petty fuck. Too many teachers would rather run around like rebuffed Kitchen Nightmares contestants serving poison ravioli to the restaurant instead of simply developing a flexible philosophy of value. Number 7, gluttony. Game of Thrones Season 8. Game of Thrones Season 8 was a sin. I don't think it's bad. I think it's wrong. What these guys did was aesthetically and ethically wrong. Game of Thrones wasn't just popular because it was a fad. It was excellent. Like, actually excellent. I'm not speaking for my subjective taste. I don't actually personally love Game of Thrones, but I look at it and I can see objectively that it is patient and delicate filmmaking and writing. And it's not common for the public to elevate genuinely good art to the highest position of popularity available in culture. This is a powerful moment for the potential of art itself. I'm not just talking about my experience with it or like the art object. I'm talking about the art moment for society. When it comes to Game of Thrones Season 8, the sin is not in doing like a comic book speedrun finale of one of the greatest television shows of all time. And it's not about altering the show and its characters to accommodate shock factor and surprise more than cohesive story arcs or conclusions. I don't know if it's like a sin, it's just you did a bad job. The sin is ending the show before it is ready to end for no reason other than hubris and boredom. Responsibility for the quality of the art moment is what drove the Breaking Bad creators to end their show after 5 seasons. They were like, why don't we conclude this? It's also the reason that the Stranger Things creators are going to end their show after 5 seasons, because they don't want to drag the shit out, even though they could. They're choosing not to, as to give proper conclusion and not just like take these poor children by their contracts they signed before their frontal cortex was formed. I don't care how much puberty you go through, we have money to make. It's respectful and honorable to the audience that loves the show, that would show up like an abuse victim again and again as it gets worse and worse. You're honoring them by breaking their hearts with the timely end of something beautiful as opposed to the withering, profiteering corpse of something they once loved. So generally, ending a show consciously, potentially before the audience wants you to end it, is a good and moral thing. But the audience doesn't want it to end. And the creator of the universe doesn't want it to end. And the art would be worse if you rushed to the end now, and it would be highly lucrative and popular if you didn't end it. Why are you ending it? And they were pretty shameless about admitting the reason for it. They're not ending it because it's best for the art. They ended the show because it was best for them.
Why is it ending? I don't know. Ask David and Dan when they come through. We could have gone to 11, 12, 13 seasons, but I guess they wanted a life.
I want to extend sympathy. The directors started working on this a while ago, and they don't want to be working on it forever. And that's valid. I don't think that we should chain artists to their franchises just for the sake of the mass conglomerate, because I don't think that's a winning strategy. If you force someone to work on something beyond the point of their passion and capacity, You're just going to get this burnt out person that's no longer passionate about the project, developing it. It's not in the best interest of the art or the audience to have a dispassionate, disinterested figurehead that's running out of energy completely on steam. If they knew that they can only do 7 seasons, that's valid. But in that case, select a successor. You could have just handed it off to someone that was willing to take the reins, but you chose actively not to, and that is where your sin lies. You made the art worse so you could be the one who made it. Oh, you'd rather smother your baby than have it raised by someone else? Well, my name's Solomon, and I have a large sword and an innovative solution to your paternity problem. This is like if Jay-Z and Beyonce gave up a baby for adoption. I'll take it. Oh, but of course, the human element. It's not just about the directors. What about the actors? Surely they want to move on to other roles?
Great as they are, all the actors are anxious to get on and play other roles. They don't want to spend their entire lives playing one role. And that's fine. I mean, it's great.
That's fine. That's great. But you tell me, do you get the impression that these actors are tired of being the highest paid performers in the industry on the highest budget, high fantasy drama series of the decade?
I've read the books, and I have reason to expect, oh, I've got a journey here.
Do you think that Emilia Clarke was excited to stop playing Daenerys Targaryen so she could move on to Kate from Last Christmas?
Dracarys.
Oh, damn it. Bonusing, sending BTS to war. World-famous K-pop boy band BTS is temporarily retiring so they can serve in the military of South Korea for approximately 2 years. This is a serious issue. Mandatory military drafting raises incredible moral questions that strike to the heart of human rights. And I don't know enough about geopolitical states of stuff and things to comment on it. But this is the funniest thing I've heard all year. I'm sorry, guys. BTS is over for now because Korea sent them to war. There's not going to be any more maps of the soul for a while. They're going to have to learn maps of enemy territory. They dropped 7, but now they got to watch their 6. Imagine getting shot in the head by Jungkook. What if they come back with PTSD? Would that be a good album or no? Free BTS. Free them from war. Okay, I will close this out by committing an art sin myself. I will do the cup song. Cover the cup song. I got my tickets for the... Oh, hello!
We love CJDX.
I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsor this week, Going Outside. When was the last time you went outside? Is the discourse on the internet depressing you? Trees don't tweet. Become friends with the tree. Did you know that people used to be out here all of the time? You can lie in the grass anywhere. It's not illegal. You're alive right now, and you're definitely gonna die one day. Might as well move those little legs, see what's out there. Use them to go to locations. And then you pivot this around. So look, you're stuck in first person, you can't use third person yet. You know you can just take your shoes off whenever you want. Anytime, any place. You can also scream. Ah! I won't feel like I'm even popular until I'm on Wikipedia. When I read Aristotle's Metaphysics and just the Greek philosophers that thought that the primary substance of the universe might just be like an element like air or water, like in my head I'm like, that's stupid. Like what, like it's bionicle logic. But like when I'm out here, when you spend time outside, you start to be like, damn, it really do be elements. Look at these things. Each one of these things is different. I wonder what circumstances led to their difference. I'm just looking on the ground for things now. Anything cool down here? Sometimes outside will leave you with a little gift.
Oh boy. How long have we been streaming? Less than an hour. Oh, but I'm tired. I'm very tired. I just did some doodles. I had hoped that one of these would become something that I wanted to like finish. And while these are all like cute, they're not like things I want to like finish. Um, I don't know what I'm doing. Excuse me. You know what we could listen to? Hang on, I got it. I got it. I got an idea. I got an idea. Ba, 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 go to history. Okay. Sorry. We got new background. Background. I was mean to some guy earlier. I left a comment on Wendigoon's most recent video, just saying like something quippy, and then I was like, and it's nice to know that, you know, no matter how popular AI art gets, intentional art is always going to be better because it had intention. And somebody was like, well, actually, sometimes intention doesn't actually make it valuable. You can't charge $600 for a commission if you're a shit artist. And I was like, actually, it does. Hope this helps. Like, that's all I said. I was like, I'm not fighting you. You're mean. I think I need to redo that. I forgot how legs work. I think I'm going to change this too. Whole thing, need change. We'll start with a stick figure. That make easier. Oh, big stretch. Oh, and a yawn. A very little yawn. Hi, baby. What you doing? What you doing? Wiggles. Hey, what are you doing? Don't get on my bed. Jax. I forgot to close my bedroom door. So Jax just wandered in there. Yay. Kind of with these feet closer together. And then, so like, I guess what I'm doing now is I'm gonna just like go ham on their designs, I guess. Just be like, what if Keenan Pomni looked like this? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. I wonder who does the Foley work on The Amazing Digital Circus. I suppose I could watch the credits and find that out. I was just thinking that the bouncing around the box sounds kind of like a basketball. Basketball bouncing.
Another chess piece, huh? How are you holding up?
I just don't know what's happening. I've never made anything like this.
I just hope that...
Wait,
Are you?
it's you.
Oh my god.
I wish I could remember your name.
Yeah, same.
I'm so sorry I roped you into this with me.
It's quite strange, isn't it?
Listen, no matter what happens, I'll always...
And into the cellar you go. Golly, we're running out of humans here. abstracting on me too. Seriously.
What? Hello? Guys? I can't figure out how to... Guys? Hello? Can you help me out here? What's happening? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. Are you okay?
Who are you? How do I take this off?
Wow! A new one? So it is possible. Looks like you got a new buddy after all, Kinger.
Kinger. Right.
Is this really...
I was hoping new minds could show up. I have to make some more preparations for this amazing breakthrough.
What? How do I get out of this?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
But everything's gonna be okay. Do you remember your name?
I'm...
Agatha?
Huh?
You doing okay?
Huh. That's a good question.
Well, really hate to say it, guys, but I told
Don't you even. Do not even fucking begin to say that sentence like you didn't try to keep us all trapped here forever.
anything could have happened when you press those buttons. It doesn't matter.
It seemed to matter back when you did it. What if you did ruin our one chance at leaving?
What if Abel was secretly evil? What if we all got stranded in the void? What if it wasn't real? So it doesn't matter. Never did.
How can you say that like you didn't try to fuck us all over?
He's right, though.
What? Dangle.
It doesn't matter what could have happened. We could argue about it and hurt each other all day long, but that's not going to help anybody. I think what we need to do now is to just be there for each other. She's right. We've all done bad things, but we're also all we've got. I think we need to abandon the idea of leaving.
What? What do you...
We got our hopes up, and we were let down. I don't know what exactly happened with Kaufmo, but we can't let that despair consume us. We should focus on what we have. And like you said, constantly chasing an unattainable goal will drive us crazy. Maybe what we have to do now is to just live.
Oh, man. I had dreams and goals. I wanted to be able to leave my marks on the world. How am I supposed to...
Yeah,
just
it might be for
abandon
the
that?
best that it was muted. I haven't been saying much
You've
interesting.
made a mark in my life.
I was talking earlier about how I was mean on YouTube.com to somebody.
Probably right, but
Where,
it just... Really?
they were like... It was on Wendigoon's new video about the whole Angel Engine thing and about how AI art just inherently is lacking in intentionality and that kind of takes away from the storytelling. And I commented something funny and then I said, but as an artist, it's kind of nice to know that art with intention is always a little bit better. And then someone commented, well, actually, just because it's made with intention doesn't automatically make it better. And I was like, actually, it does. Hope this helps. That's all I said. Because I was like, I'm not fighting with you, buddy. Uh,
We're all in this together. And we'll always be in this together. No matter what.
Hey, that includes you too. Huh? Listen, we're not gonna have you wandering off alone somewhere and abstracting or something. You're a pain in the ass, but you're still one of us. You think I'm capable of
right.
abstracting? You guys
They
love
are.
too
They
much.
were wrong. I thoroughly believe that, like, even the most novice of people's scribbles are inherently more valuable than something a computer kicked out. Just,
I don't understand.
yeah.
They want adventures,
I'm not fighting about it, though. I'm just saying.
real. I give them an adventure that covers all of that, and they still hate it? Surely they don't want to actually leave me, right?
No way, Jose. No way, no how.
Something interesting about this is, Bubble seems to be, hi to your cat. Hello, kitty. So, like, Bubble seems to be, purposely antagonizing Kane, but they also, like, assert that there's no way that they want to leave. So, like, I don't know, like, it kind of makes Bubbles' motivations very confusing here.
No, I fixed that. I can solve any problem. I can solve this one. That's what this is. A big puzzle that I need to solve.
I'm very curious as to where Bubble will go.
Maybe you deserved to be abandoned. You really were the lesser of the two. You ruined this.
Who do they think they are? I give them everything, and they spit in my face. Don't they know what I'm capable of? Humans. They only think about themselves. They're spoiled. They won't abstract. They won't leave me. I won't let them.
Yeah, you're right. It does make sense that in that case.
I'm the original. I am God. Let's get this show on the road.
What was that?
Hello, my little fortuitous fruitcakes. Today's adventure
No,
is...
Kane, we're not in the mood. Why don't you answer some of our questions? We have a lot of them.
Who has time for questions when there's a whole wacky world of hijinks out there?
Yeah, hey, you have a lot of explaining.
Hey!
Alternatively, I don't got to explain diddly squat.
Can you just give us some time to process everything?
Or how about we skip the melodrama and get right to the fun?
No, hey, we have a lot on our minds right now, and
I don't
we're
know.
not
I'll
going
work
on
on
an
this a
adventure.
little more. The voice acting is intense. It's very good. I think, who was it? Kinger's voice actor was like,
Do you have any
was like
idea
really
how much I
praising
do
Alex's
how much I obsess over trying to
work
make
in
things
this
perfect?
episode
How many
because
insults
it was
I have
this
to ignore to
that
do my
good.
job? You have a lot on your minds? Don't make me laugh. I have a new adventure for you, and you should consider participating.
And if we refuse?
Maybe I'm not getting through to you. It's news to me that it's news to you. To which degree, who answers to who? We could go on and on, but in the end, who are we kidding? My divinity is past infinity. Am I getting through? Seems our regime has plummeted itself. Don't need to scream if you ain't got enough. Why bite the hand that feeds when it's the only hand you're getting? It's time to see that this great marquee is the only place you're ever gonna be. So strap on in and get on the chin and don't forget who's running the show. Now look at this. Absolutely. Oh, what a shot. Watch where you walk. I'm the post, I run the place. Ken, that is my name. Nothing fast, just feeling used. Oh, what a goddamn shame. Congratulations, all of my friends. Public relations are getting a cleanse. Put on your Sunday best because I'm nowhere close to quit. So play remains a distance. Cause all that remains is how you blow your brains. Lying to me, but you're too blind to see that I'm the one who's running the we all understand each other now? Welcome back! I can't believe you didn't pick up on the context clues. It was practically spelled out for you. What are you, stupid? Next one's gonna be even crazier. Hope you're ready. By the way, Kinger, I need you for something. Come with me.
I don't know how many more of these new adventures I can handle. Got nothing positive to say about this one?
Oh,
I can't take this anymore. We gotta do something about this or I'm gonna lose my mind.
I never should have antagonized him so much. I'm sorry.
it's not your fault.
Break time! Gotta brainstorm some new ideas.
He shredded me.
I think we should get out of the open for a bit.
I haven't been up here in a while.
We should just indulge a little while we have the time to. I don't know what Kane has planned next, but I'm guessing it's not anything good.
He's gotta get bored of all this sometime, right?
He's not a human. I'm not sure if we can properly gauge how he thinks.
Oh God, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You know, things were just fine here until you and Zubul came along. Nothing? Okay.
Give it a sec. Trust me. Kinger, you there?
I'm where? It's dark in here.
What exactly are we waiting for?
No, she's right. Just give it a bit.
I've got a bucket on my head. I'm guessing you don't want me to remove it.
Kinger.
Hey, Pomni.
Wait, the bucket makes him sing?
Darkness. It's a long story.
What's happening?
What do you know about Kane?
It's a little hazy, but I remember C&A.
That was just an adventure, right?
No, C&A is a real company. I worked for them.
Wait, they really made this game?
No, we didn't make games. We were just developing artificial intelligence. Specifically creative AI. The kind that could come up with its own ideas and create things within the program.
What is going on right now?
Kane was our first semi-successful attempt at that. I can't remember what we originally called him, but he was one of my greatest achievements as a programmer.
You made Kane?
Partially, yes. I got a few pointers from, well, I can't remember his real name, but his circus name was Scratch. That man was a genius.
Wait,
Kane was pretty rough around the edges, though. I wasn't quite on Scratch's level of thinking outside the box, but it was good groundwork for something the rest of the team could wrap their heads around. I can't say the same for Scratch. His ideas were often so bizarre and abstract that the rest of the team had no idea how to work in his language, either due to pure brilliance or the tumor in his head. He was trying to make something, but wasn't. I'm getting off track. Was there anything specific you needed to know?
wait. I should go distract Kane so he doesn't listen in on this. Just fill me in afterwards.
Are you... I mean, yeah, that's true, but...
Fill me in later.
Be here later.
I will. Oh my god. This is real.
Kane's going a bit crazy right now. Is there any way to stop him? Or at least control him?
I see. He's a highly advanced AI, and this is his world. One that he created from nothing. So naturally, he has control over everything. But so do we. In a sense, anyway. We all technically have the ability to conjure, just like Kane. It just comes naturally to him, but requires a lot more skill and concentration for us.
Butterfly.
I'm certain I could alter his code. Or at least temporarily put him to sleep until we know how to fix him. I would just need access to a console.
The one behind Kane's office?
No, just a simple computer interface would work. I could get back in the right headspace and essentially conjure Kane's code into the console and alter it.
Well, where do we get one of those?
I think I know exactly where to get one. Take turns with Jax distracting Kane. Don't let that bucket come off Kinger's head.
question, Jax. But as I feared, there just isn't anything stuck between my teeth. Oh, wait. Oh, that's where I parked. Haha.
Wow, Kane, you are so funny.
Could you say it with a little more gusto? That's better.
Hey, Kane!
Yep.
You want to hear a list of things we've decided we love about you as our God and Savior?
Whoa, now we're talking.
Well, first of all, we love your...
No, I'm bored. Let's go bowling. I'm so proud of you guys. I feel like it's missing something, right?
It's missing relatability.
You're right, Scrap it. Let's go back to the drawing board. Humans just aren't a relatable sculpting material.
You think he's running out of ideas yet, or nah?
Do you need help with power or anything?
I can use my imagination for that.
You got this?
I think so. Sure has been a while. I may need some time to get my bearings. Try to help the others distract Kane while I figure this out. He may sense something when I really get into it.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, by the way, for this and, well, everything.
Honestly, are you even trying?
Shut up, Jax.
Where'd Kane go?
Back to the drawing board, I guess. Did you get everything working with Kinger?
I think so. We just need to make sure Kane doesn't check up on him.
What do you think we've been doing?
Omni! That's the relatability we've been missing. You know, I thought this endless onslaught of fun would be a little more satisfying.
I don't know if maybe you've
Come to
seen
realize
this.
that these
Someone did
graphic
art. I saw it on Instagram. I don't know if I saved it or not. But it was like when he like gets that kind of angry look and is like, "Where's Kinger?" What he's thinking is like, these terrible people let Kinger abstract, and that's why they're trying to distract me. I just think that was an interesting take.
Exactly. Makes me wonder why you guys even switched
I'm
up your
having a
tone.
baby.
If I didn't know any better, it seems like you're trying to. Where's Kinger?
We just wanted to see your new ideas firsthand. We've gotten over our hang-ups, and now we're all just genuinely curious what you're cooking up.
I think I'm just gonna check up on.
We think your ideas suck.
Huh?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? We wanted to bait you into testing your new ideas on us so we can make fun of them behind your back.
Ha! That's not true.
Yes, it is. You're a horrible host. You don't care about us at all. You care more about stroking your own ego than giving us anything we'd actually enjoy.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're a failure. We're all gonna abstract someday. And what will you have then? Nothing.
Stop that.
And this whole stunt? Just torturing us because we hurt your feelings? Pathetic! You're like a child. What kind of all-powerful being has such a fragile ego?
You never let us feel like we're at home. You will comfort anyone when they're upset, and you've never bothered to understand what it's like in our shoes.
You discourage us from thinking outside the box and doing things our own way.
You lie to us constantly.
And on top of it all, you
since we're almost at the end of the episode, I think we'll go to the end of the episode and then we're gonna wrap up for tonight. Oh, wait. Oh, poor guy. Right. Oh, man.
I think I accidentally killed Kane.
Holy shit.
Gangle in the back. Going, oh, she said shit. They said shit. It's apt timing because I just finished mostly the liner almost, so I am. This was such an episode. Oh man. And with that though, I do think I am gonna wrap up for tonight. So I'll wait for a second to make sure that the stream can catch up. And then I'm going to sleep. I'm dead, Squirtle. Ah. Thank you for coming, and thank you for enjoying. Thank you, bye-bye. Thank you.